People who can still do all 8 of these things well into their 70s and 80s are truly amazing. Never thought about what it would take to be happy and live on your own as an old person? Watching this video will teach you the basics of living a healthy life, handling your money wisely, and building deep connections with the people you care about. You will have learned useful things and gained deep insights by the end, which can turn your golden years into the happiest time of your life. Listen to these simple but important secrets if you want to live your best life without making your family mad. Before we begin, I want to let you know there's a thoughtful little tip waiting for you at the end of this video. Something I believe could gently lift your day or bring you new perspective. If you feel at home here, please like this video, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss what's to come. And just so I know you're here with me, please be here and open to learning. It means so much to read your words. Now let's begin. A. Your body is still pretty good, so you can still do everything you need to do every day. What if, as you got older, you didn't have to depend on your kids for help and could instead focus on taking care of yourself? Find out how to get to this level of happiness and freedom. This isn't about giving in to the latest diet trend or taking expensive trips. The key is in something much easier to handle and clear. This story will teach you the important and sometimes surprising things you can do to stay healthy and happy as you get older. Being healthy as you age is one of the best things that can happen to you. Instead of paying a caregiver $10,000 a month, it would be much more satisfying to make yourself a bowl of vegetables. In addition to making your life better, taking care of your health will keep you from putting too much financial stress on your children. It's important to put healthcare first because everyone wants to be there for their loved ones. Being healthy lets you do the things you enjoy, like shopping, cooking, cleaning, and coming up with new ways to help your kids. You stay interested in what's going on around you and give your life meaning when you're busy. People often think that to stay healthy, you have to eat strange foods all the time or go to expensive wellness resorts all the time. Instead, keeping a positive attitude is often all it takes to stay healthy. Being positive is good for your health because it makes you feel better and gives you a better view of life. Having a healthy lifestyle becomes more important as you get older. Our physical fitness naturally decreases as we age. To stay healthy, you need to exercise regularly and, most importantly, keep a positive attitude. Keeping a positive attitude is one of the best ways to heal. An optimistic view of life and less anger, because anger is bad for you, can make a big difference in your health and happiness. A positive outlook can help your health by making your heart feel lighter and reducing stress and worries. You can do many things and enjoy life to the fullest when you're healthy, but being sick can make things hard for the people you care about. Feeling ignored as your health gets worse can make you feel even more alone and isolated in your later years, especially if your children have a hard time understanding or dealing with your condition. These days, retirement is often a time when older people do many things. They like to read, garden, and do calligraphy when they're at home. When they're with friends, they like to go on adventures like dancing in parks or hiking. Being happy, eating a balanced diet, getting enough rest, and getting good sleep are the best ways to stay healthy. Getting into these habits will help you get fitter over time. Take good care of your body because it's an important part of who you are. A good attitude, an open mind, calmness, and regular exercise will help you keep your body in great shape. Having good health and a positive outlook as you get older is a gift that you and the people you care about will always value. Not having a lot of money or fancy things is the key to living a happy and free life. Keeping a good attitude and good habits. To stay healthy, the 3 most important things you can do are eat well, work out regularly, and keep a positive attitude. If you pay attention to these details, you can make life better for your family and still do the things you love. Being healthy allows you to fully enjoy life. This makes it a lot easier to do things like go grocery shopping, cook, or do a hobby. Your relationships with your kids will improve if you have a purpose and can care for yourself. They will look up to you as an example of how to be strong and healthy. Should you follow these tips, you will see that keeping a positive attitude can really help you. It can have a big effect on your mental and physical health. To stay positive, deal with stress and anger, and find joy in the little things in life. Remember that being mentally and physically healthy goes hand in hand. Take charge of your health today to make sure that your golden years are really golden. Please leave the first comment below to let us know that you are still watching this video and finding the lessons helpful. 2. You still have a sharp mind and can tell when someone is lying. Have you ever thought about why some seniors fall for health product and money-making scams? A simple but important fact is often the answer. As you get older, you need to be extra careful. This story shows how dishonest companies trick older people into giving them money, and it gives you important advice on how to keep your money safe and your health. Make sure you learn how to keep yourself and your family safe from these common scams. Some people may be more likely to be tricked as they get older because they are less careful or their minds are not as sharp. This can put them in bad situations where they are tricked into buying health supplements or financial products they don't need. Scams like these can quickly drain their savings. The worst part is that many elderly people who fall for these scams may not even know they were tricked, and they may hurt their families without meaning to. It is advisable to keep a clear understanding of your surroundings and transactions after the age of 70. It's important to stay aware and up to date, even if you get lost sometimes. Many unethical businesses take advantage of this by using gifts, emotional support, and regular social events as bait to get personal information about your health, income, and trust. After getting this information, they aggressively market several health products. It is very important to say no to offers you didn't ask for, like so-called expert consultations, free health checks, lectures, planned tours, and marketing events that happen outside of normal business hours. These are usually tricks meant to get you to buy expensive things you don't need. The story makes a point of showing that these methods can wipe out your savings and cause a lot of emotional and financial trouble. So be aware of your surroundings and the motives of those who seem to help you. Be wary of any interactions that happen outside of formal business settings, and always be wary of offers that you didn't ask for. You can keep your peace of mind and protect your finances by staying informed and careful. Teach yourself and your family about these common scams, and then share what you've learned with other people in your community to create a group of smart, careful people. Remember that pretending to be confused can be a smart move sometimes, but you should never really let yourself get lost. Keep your mind sharp, stay aware, and take steps to protect your safety from people who want to take advantage of your trust and weakness. Also, having your own home can give you a greater sense of freedom, so you don't have to depend on your kids' hospitality to live comfortably. Taking care of your money well can help you avoid arguments and make your family environment more supportive. As we deal with the difficulties of getting older, this story reminds us how important it is to plan for a future where being financially independent will help us have better relationships with our loved ones. By encouraging this kind of independence, we not only protect our own health, but we also make our families happier and more peaceful. Third, you don't need to ask your kids for money because you still have enough money. Ever think about how much it really costs to be financially independent? This is especially important as we get older. Picture a life where you don't have to worry about money and helping your kids. Imagine being able to keep your dignity, having the freedom that comes with managing your own money, and not having to depend on other people for your money. This story teaches us a deep lesson about how important it is to be able to support ourselves financially in old age and how that can greatly improve our relationships with family. Having unused money is unsettling, but not having any money is terrifying. There is an option for many elderly people to ask their children for money, but it's not always the best thing to do. Asking for money all the time can cause problems, especially if the kids are having money problems like being unemployed or in debt. Older people with a steady pension and savings can manage their money without asking their kids for help. Being financially independent not only makes them feel better, but it also keeps their family from having to deal with too much stress. Having your own home can make you feel even more independent. You don't have to depend on your kids' hospitality or live under someone else's roof when you have your own space. This can make you feel less uncomfortable or inconvenient. Remember that managing your money wisely is not a small matter, even if you have many years ahead of you. Being financially independent means that you can take care of yourself without your kids always having to help. This way of doing things keeps money from becoming a source of conflict and keeps your loved ones from having to deal with too much debt. In the end, being financially independent in our later years means more than just being able to pay our daily bills. It's basically about keeping our honor and making sure our families get along. When elderly parents can rely on their pensions and personal savings, they not only make the family environment more supportive and positive, but they also keep their children from having to deal with stress. This freedom lets them live without the emotional and practical weight of being a financial burden, which makes family relationships stronger. In addition, having your own home gives you more freedom and comfort. It means you can enjoy your living space without having to worry about how your kids will fit, which could lead to discomfort or tense interactions. Managing your money well can help keep your family from fighting and make life better for everyone. As we deal with the challenges of getting older, let this story serve as a reminder of how important it is to plan for a future where being financially independent protects our health and makes our relationships with loved ones stronger. By becoming financially independent, we make it possible for our families to live together in a more peaceful, respectful, and happy way. 4. You can still talk to your kids without getting into big fights. Have you ever thought about why some older people have such strong, loving relationships with their children and grandchildren, while others seem to have a hard time with constant fighting and emotional distance? Imagine if there was a way to connect with your loved ones on a deeper, more meaningful level across generations. The story you're about to read will give you a deep understanding of how older people can change their relationships by being flexible and understanding. To earn trust and create a peaceful family environment, they can focus on giving emotional support and moving on from the past. Think about why some older people seem to be met with resistance or lack of interest when they speak. This is often because they like to talk about the good old days or old topics that younger people don't find relevant. This difference between generations can sometimes lead to arguments, which are made worse by the fear and stubbornness that come with getting older. People who are able to communicate clearly and easily, on the other hand, are usually flexible and understanding. They know how important it is to stay in touch with their grandchildren and children in a way that is relevant to today. Take some time to think about why your grandchildren and children should treat you with respect and love. It is said that everything of value in this world is temporary. To build trust and independence that lasts, you should be a stable emotional presence instead of holding on to old grudges or topics that don't matter anymore. A lot of the time, relationships between older people get a lot better when they focus on giving emotional support and strength during hard times instead of complaining or nagging. Basically, the story shows how important emotional intelligence and the ability to adapt are for keeping relationships between older people and their families peaceful. This is a powerful reminder that even though getting older can bring problems like fear and stubbornness, these problems can be solved by focusing on the present and showing genuine support. People over the age of 65 can create an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding by not complaining and staying away from old topics. This emotional support can come in many forms, from just listening with compassion during hard times, to saying positive things and passing on wise words. Showing that you value your children's and grandchildren's experiences and points of view is a great way for older people to build trust and respect. On the other hand, this can help everyone become more independent and enjoy life more. At the end of the day, the story shows that being present and helpful is more valuable than holding on to the past in our relationships. By following these principles, adaptability, empathy, and real emotional support, elderly people can strengthen their family ties and make sure they are loved and respected, not just for their age, but also for the stability and love they bring to their family's life. This method helps to bring together people of different generations, making the family dynamic richer and more connected. Please leave a second comment below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me and that you think these lessons are helpful. 5. Your partner from the beginning is still alive and well. Have you ever stopped to think about how important long-term relationships are compared to relationships you form later in life? Imagine an older woman named Lania who, despite her age, still seems full of life and commitment. She uses her electric scooter every day to do many things, like taking her kids to school, grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of her husband. There is a clear sense of pride and fulfillment in her voice, even though this takes a lot of work. This sense of pride makes us wonder why she feels this way, and what her story tells us about the bonds we make that last a lifetime. Let's dig deeper into this interesting story to find out the big differences between relationships that start early in life and those that start later in life. Lania, who is well into her 70s, thinks about her daily life and feels both tired and happy. Even though I'm over 70, I still ride an electric scooter to take the kids to school, buy groceries, cook, do laundry, clean, and then cook for my spouse. My partner has fun while I work hard. Does it get old? Is it worth it? Her words are filled with a strong sense of pride. Even if your spouse doesn't do as much, having one gives you support and company that relationships in later life often lack. This is a powerful reminder that the emotional depth and shared history of first-time couples often go beyond the practical bonds they make later in life. Relationships in later life that are formed for practical or social reasons may not have the strong emotional bonds that make up long-term partnerships. A lot of couples in their later years may find that their relationship is more about practical help and company than the deep emotional connection that comes from sharing life experiences for years. It's said, husband and wife are birds of the same forest. When disaster strikes, they fly apart. Practical reasons can change the minds of even long-term couples, let alone those who are only together for convenience's sake. As an example, think about a neighbor who got married again after his first wife died. His second marriage was set up by mutual introductions. He is now living with a new partner, but he doesn't feel as emotionally fulfilled as he did in his first marriage. The man, who had previously raised his daughter alone, met someone else who also had a child. If you look at them from the outside, their relationship seems more like a practical one than a deep emotional one. The big difference between his current relationship and the deep connection he had with his first wife brings out a very important truth. It's hard to find another relationship that can compare to the emotional depth and satisfaction of a long-term one. The story of Lania is a powerful example of how important long-term relationships are. Even though she is very old, she still takes pride in caring for her spouse. This shows the strong, emotional bonds and support that come with being together for a lifetime. After years of going through the same things and facing the same problems, these early relationships offer a special kind of stability and connection that isn't always present in relationships that start later in life. Late life unions, on the other hand, can be helpful and fun, but they don't always provide the deep emotional connection that long-term partnerships do. This story shows how deep emotional bonds are irreplaceable and how they bring a special kind of happiness. As we go through our relationships, it's important to value and care for the long-term ones, knowing that their true worth will become clearer over time. The deep satisfaction and happiness that come from being in a relationship for life show how valuable long-term love and friendship are. They also remind us to value and invest in these important relationships as they change over time. Sixth, you are still working hard to learn and can easily get around outside. Think about being able to easily and confidently get through the complicated web of modern life as you get older. Imagine that a commitment to always learning is the key to staying independent and feeling safe. This isn't just a theoretical idea. Many older people can actually make it happen by learning new skills and getting used to new technologies. Looking for ways to stay independent and sure of yourself in a world that's always changing? Let's look at a story that shows how important it is to keep learning new things and getting better at the things you already know how to do. There is no doubt that reading and staying informed can greatly improve your progress and quality of life. A lot of older people have trouble getting around in public because they have trouble reading signs, using their phones to get information, or making online payments. Technical subjects like astronomy or geography aren't necessary, but learning useful skills and how to get along with others can make a big difference. For example, instead of just talking on the phone for fun, people can learn to use it for more useful things. For example, using trustworthy websites and learning how to do things like pay their bills online can make daily tasks easier. We live in a very fast-paced world, so it's especially important for older people to be able to adapt and learn new skills. The moral of the story is that being dedicated to learning can have a big effect on your daily life. It's a lot easier to get through daily life if you keep up with new technology like smartphones for searching for information or making purchases online. It's not about getting deeply involved in complicated topics. Instead, it's about focusing on useful practical knowledge and social skills. Exploring trustworthy sources and learning how to do things like pay their bills online can help older people become more independent and depend less on others. The most important thing to take away from this is how important it is to keep learning new things and keeping up with practical skills. It's never too late to try out new tools and technologies that can make life easier and better. We can help our elderly loved ones feel more confident and make their daily lives easier by getting them to use their phones for more than just talking. This method not only helps them become independent, but it also keeps them involved and up to date in a world that changes quickly. So, let's encourage the older people around us to keep learning and changing, which will make their lives easier, more fun, and full of newfound confidence. Seventh, you enjoy your free time, so life is never dull. Have you ever thought about what makes some older people seem so lively and full of life, while others seem to lose their spark as they get older? Often, the answer is simpler and more positive than their genes or medicine. Take a moment to imagine that you could increase both the length and quality of your life by doing things you enjoy. Want to know how hobbies can help you live a happier, healthier old age? Let's look into the big effects of staying interested in things you're passionate about. For people over the age of 70, doing high-intensity activities like dancing in the park or doing vigorous exercise might not be possible or fun for everyone. Some people may also find it hard to sit still for long periods of time to play games like mahjong. Finding hobbies that fit your interests and physical abilities is the key to making your daily life more interesting. Seniors need to find things to do that make them happy and content without feeling like they have to fit into a certain interest. No matter what you do, chess, painting, singing, fishing, or anything else, the main goal is to have fun. After retirement, A lot of people feel lost and confused. They may feel like their lives have lost meaning, or they may become too busy taking care of their grandchildren. People often think that as you get older, you need to take things more seriously. But staying playful can actually be very helpful. As we get older, we should enjoy the freedom to try new things and find new interests even more. Not wanting to try new things because of your age can make you feel bad later on. It's important to do things that make you happy and boost your confidence. And research backs up the idea that people who stay playful tend to live longer. Aging's effects on the body, along with lowered social status and less ability to take care of oneself, can make it harder to adapt and cause mental pain. This can make mental health problems worse, make physical illnesses worse, and make people less excited about life. Hobbies can help fight these effects by keeping your brain active, slowing down memory loss, and boosting your physical health by increasing blood flow and lung capacity. Also, doing things with a group can help you make friends and feel like you belong, which is very important for your emotional health. Playing and keeping your mind active can help you feel less lonely and improve your mental health, which in turn can help you live longer. Think about the amazing people like Sir Isaac Newton, who loved blowing soap bubbles and was amazed by how colorful they were. Or Eugene Yuan, an economist who liked a lot of different things, like computer games, blogging, and puzzles, and called himself a master of play. These examples show that adopting hobbies and staying involved in activities can make your life longer and more satisfying. Someone without a hobby cannot really become friends with someone with a hobby, says an old proverb. This shows how important it is to have interests and hobbies, especially as you get older. Having hobbies as an older person isn't just a way to pass the time. It's an important part of living a full and interesting life. Even though it's normal to lose some mental and physical abilities as you get older, doing things you enjoy can sometimes make these changes less noticeable. Hobbies can keep your mind and spirit young. They can be old-fashioned, like fishing, or newer, like blogging and video games. They not only make you happy, but they also give you chances to make friends and feel emotionally complete. Older people can find new confidence and happiness by being open to new things and keeping a playful spirit. Let's encourage our seniors to keep living their best lives by following their passions and finding new ones. In the end, age is just a number, and there are no limits on how to find happiness and fulfillment. Please leave the third comment below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me and that you think these lessons are helpful. Eighth, you still have a big heart and don't compare yourself to other people. Have you ever thought about what it means to really enjoy your later years? In a world where getting older is often seen as narrow-minded and set in your ways, there is a powerful story that goes against these ideas. The lesson of this story is to keep your heart wide open, accept your flaws, and live each day with a calm and accepting attitude. It gives a unique and useful view on getting older, which should make everyone, young and old, think deeply about how they live their lives and interact with others. Imagine a story that makes us rethink what it means to age with grace and joy. A lot of people say that getting older makes people less angry, less open-minded, and more stubborn. On the other hand, getting older can also make people more angry and act in ways that don't make sense. However, it's not often that you meet an older person who is still open-minded and flexible. People like this don't judge others for their flaws, don't envy others' successes, don't put down their kids, and don't complain about their money or worry too much about the future. It's priceless to accept each day as it comes and make the most of the present. Anyone in their 70s isn't really that old anymore, but that doesn't mean you should start taking things for granted. It is important to approach the last few years of life with purpose and positivity. Older people can improve their overall sense of well-being by continuing to make family members feel good, being kind to others, and keeping their happiness alive. The deep message of the story about keeping your heart and mind open captures what it means to live a good life, especially as you get older. It shows that even though getting older can make people stubborn and act in ways that don't make sense, these traits can be overcome by keeping an open mind and being accepting of others' flaws. This way of doing things not only improves our own lives, but it also has a big effect on the lives of those around us. We can develop a deep sense of contentment and inner peace by choosing not to be jealous of other people's successes or to put them down. Real happiness comes from accepting each day as it comes and seeing it as the best day ever. This story reminds us that we can still live our lives with purpose and happiness even when we are in our 70s. Giving love and kindness to our families and other people makes our relationships stronger and improves our overall health. People shouldn't give up when they get old. Instead, they should enjoy and fully embrace life as they get older. The story tells us to deal with getting older with grace, strength, and a strong desire to live fully. In conclusion, being healthy, having enough money, being emotionally intelligent, and living an active life are all important for a happy golden age. Our priorities change as we get older, which makes these things even more important. Taking care of our health with regular exercise and a positive attitude keeps our bodies in good shape and makes our minds healthier. A healthy body and mind let us enjoy the things we do every day, keep our independence, and avoid becoming a burden on our families. Being financially free is also very important. We don't have to depend on our children for money because we have enough saved and a reliable pension. This means we can live comfortably on our own terms and avoid potential arguments. Not only do we need to have money, but we also need to know how to handle it wisely so that we can meet our needs and handle emergencies without too much stress. In today's quickly changing world, it's also important to be open to learning new things and adapting to new situations. Keeping your mind sharp and open to new ideas and technologies helps you get things done and stay in touch with the world around you. This keeps people from feeling alone and helps them get around in today's constantly changing world. Communication and emotional support are very important in our relationships with our kids and grandchildren. To make our family environment caring and positive, we need to understand, be flexible, and offer emotional support instead of complaining. Respect and support for each other are very important for keeping family ties strong. Hobbies and social activities make our lives better by giving us a sense of purpose and happiness. Whether we're painting, gardening, or just hanging out with friends, these things keep our minds sharp and our spirits high. Also, they keep you from being lonely, which can be a big problem as you get older. Last but not least, it's important to keep a positive and open mind about life. Being happy can be greatly increased by accepting others' flaws, avoiding pointless comparisons, and savoring each day as it comes. People who are happy and thankful are less likely to think about the bad things in the world, and more likely to find joy in the here and now. We're grateful you spent this time with us. If you felt even a bit inspired, we warmly welcome you to subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss what's coming next. Your presence matters. Here's something magical. Share your age in the comments. By doing so, you're telling the universe, I'm here, I'm growing, and I'm ready for more life. It's a small act with powerful energy. Take care, stay hopeful, and remember, your journey still has so much to offer.